In this video, we're going to take a closer look at Network Link in ProPresenter. Network Link allows multiple computers running ProPresenter to trigger slides, media, macros, and more, all together across a network. That means you can distribute your production workloads across several machines while keeping everything perfectly synchronized. In this tutorial, we'll walk through what Network Link is, when it's useful, the requirements you need, and how to set it up step by step. Let's start with the big picture. Network Link allows multiple installations of ProPresenter to communicate over the same network. When devices are linked together, triggering a slide on one computer triggers the same slide on the others. This allows you to spread your production across several systems. Instead of one computer handling everything, you can dedicate machines for different roles. For example, one computer might drive audience screens, another might run stage displays, and another might feed lobby screens or overflow rooms. As long as all of those computers are connected to the same network, Network Link can keep their triggering synchronized. It's important to note something here. Network Link does not sync the actual content nor presentation editing. Each computer still maintains its own independent presentation and media libraries. Network Link simply synchronizes the triggering of content like slides, media, macros, and timers between systems. But the slides, media, macros, etc. still need to exist on each machine. We'll talk about how to prepare for that in a moment. Before setting up Network Link, there are a few requirements to understand. First, in order to show content on the output without a watermark, each computer must have its own licensed copy of ProPresenter. In other words, every machine participating in this link needs its own active seat. If you're planning to use Network Link across several machines, make sure you have enough seats available in your license. Second, all computers must be connected to the same network. For the most reliable performance, a wired Ethernet connection is recommended. Now let's talk about planning your setup. The primary objective of utilizing Network Link is to distribute outputs across multiple machines. So you will need to decide what each computer in your setup will do. In previous versions of ProPresenter, there was a primary computer that then controlled all the other computers in this setup. But currently, Network Link allows any computer in the chain to trigger content. Just make sure your operators understand the way the system works to prevent unintended triggering. Since Network Link only synchronizes triggers based on location, each computer must have the matching content in the same order. One way to do this is by exporting your playlist and importing it into the other computers. To do this, select your playlist and then File, Export, Playlist. Or you can right-click on the playlist in the sidebar and select Export. Then name the playlist and choose where you want to save it on your computer. Be sure to check Include Media with Presentation to ensure everything is available for all other ProPresenter instances. Now you need to migrate the playlist bundle to your other computers. You can do this using AirDrop, a shared network drive, a USB drive, or a third-party cloud storage service. Once the bundle is transferred, import using File, Import, File, and selecting your playlist bundle. If necessary, go through your playlist and make any adjustments to the slide layouts or media to accommodate your unique setup. With both machines prepared, we're ready to configure Network Link. First, open ProPresenter Settings. Then navigate to the Network tab. Next, check Enable Network. At the top of the panel, you'll see two pieces of information: your computer's IP address and the port number. This information allows other ProPresenter systems to connect to this device. Next, click on the button labeled Network Link, and then enable Network Link. Then click the plus button. Any open instances of ProPresenter that also have Network Link enabled should show under the list heading. If you don't see anything under Devices, select Manual Connection. Here, enter the IP address and port number of the other ProPresenter computer you want to link. You can also assign a custom name to this connection, which we call groups. For example, you could use Stage Computer, Lobby Output, or Overflow Room. Once both computers are configured, they will detect each other and establish the link. At this point, both systems are connected. But there's one more important step. Let's talk about matching playlists and content. Network Link synchronizes triggering of playlist items using 3 key reference points: the playlist number, the playlist item number, and the slide number. This means the playlists and presentations must be in the same order on each machine. For example, if your service playlist is the first playlist on one computer, it must also be the first playlist on the other computer. Inside that playlist, the presentations must appear in the same order, and inside each presentation, the slides must match as well. The easiest workflow here is to build your service on one computer first, then, once everything is finalized, copy or import that same playlist and presentations onto the other machine. With both systems aligned, triggering content on one computer will advance content on the other. For the most stable network link experience, there are a few best practices to keep in mind. First, assign static IP addresses to your computers. If your network uses automatic DHCP addressing, a computer's IP address may change after a reboot. That would require reconnecting your network link devices again. Static IP addresses prevent the issue and keep your connections consistent. Second, make sure all devices remain on the same subnet of your network. And finally, whenever possible, use wired Ethernet connections rather than Wi-Fi. This provides the most reliable performance during live events. To wrap this up, Network Link is a powerful way to expand what's possible within ProPresenter. By linking multiple computers together, you can distribute video outputs, support more displays across your campus, reduce the load on a single machine, and build a more flexible production workflow. Once everything is configured, triggering content on one system keeps every connected computer perfectly in sync. If you'd like to learn more about additional workflows and integrations inside ProPresenter, be sure to check out our other training videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.